here, and I am so excited because I'm going to answer one of my inbox questions and the question that I am asked most often when I finish a keynote presentation. And that question is, Stacey, how can I make finding my purpose easier? And I actually think that there are three, I know that sounds really easy, but three things that you can do right now today to make finding your purpose a little easier. One, calm down. Everyone is so stressed and uptight about who they're meant to be, what they're meant to do, how they're meant to do it, when they're gonna. We have so much stress and pressure around our purpose and what we're put on this planet to do that we literally stress ourselves out of the creative, inventive, imaginative process, which leads us to our purpose. So, my first piece of advice would just be to truly, whether you're a seasoned professional and you've been working in a certain area for a long time and you just can't seem to figure out whether or not this is right for you, or you're a student in undergrad and you're trying to figure out your major and how that's going to tie to who you're going to be for the rest of your life, my first piece of advice would be just calm down. I promise it will be okay. Calm down. Second thing that you want to do is finish what you start. And I know that that sounds relatively easy, but so many people who feel like they're not living their purpose and acting out their purpose, it's because they haven't finished anything that they started. And the beautiful thing about finishing something is that as soon as you get done, this little miracle happens. Like once you finish something, the next step shows up. And when the next step shows up, you start working on that, and then you finish that, and so on and so forth. And so to make finding your purpose easier, you have to finish those things that you start. If you're an undergrad and you're an English major and you're in your sophomore year, you realize that all of a sudden you don't want to be an English professor, don't drop out of school. Finish what you start. Figure out another way to complete your bachelor's degree. Finish what you start. And I promise you, the miracle of the next step will reveal itself. And every step, every single step is putting you one step closer to your purpose. And I know this to be true just from my own experience. Those of you who know me, you kind of know my story. You know, I knew I was supposed to be a lawyer. I was going to be a lawyer when I grew up. I knew I had a voice. I knew I liked to debate. And I knew I wanted to help and advocate for people. So I was determined to be a lawyer. My undergraduate career was focused on me becoming a lawyer. I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I changed my mind. But if I would have dropped out of undergraduate school, I wouldn't have had my bachelor's degree, and that would have prevented me from being able to go on and get my master's degree, which ultimately gave me the confidence to be able to start my own company, which ultimately gave me the business structure to be able to go out and share messages with people all across this country. I say that to say, to make finding your purpose easier, finish those things that you've already started and allow the next step to show up. The third thing that you can do to make finding your purpose easier is to follow your bliss. And people talk about this all the time, but the reason why they say it all the time is because it's actually true. If there's something that you do that makes you blissfully just intoxicated with joy and happiness, that is the thing that you want to follow, because somewhere behind that or underneath that are the elements and the secrets and the hints and the clues to who you are meant to be. Like, for example, with me, I absolutely adore talking. I love it, love it, love it. I can talk to people pretty much about anything. And at a very early age, I followed that. And, you know, in my mind, I said, well, who talks the most on TV? Lawyers. Well, I'm going to be a lawyer. But now, you know, that me finishing what I started, me calming down around it, has turned into me actually talking for a living. I literally talk for a living, but that's because I chose to follow my bliss. And my bliss happened to be talking. Other pieces of my bliss happen to be helping people, sharing with people, giving advice. All of those things genuinely make me happy. And when I paid attention to them and when I did those more and more stepping stones started to show up, which ultimately led me to me being able to live and walk in my purpose. And, you know, oftentimes when I'm delivering a presentation or a keynote, people are like, well, how did you know? How do you know? And it's not that I knew, it's just that I followed these steps. I really relaxed around the idea of my purpose. I really just said, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to be one day, but I'm doing this right now, so I'm going to finish this and see what happens next. And then lastly, I decided to follow those things that made me happy. And There are some steps that come after that, but ultimately, if you really want to make finding your purpose a little bit easier, I would do those three things. So that's my 2 cents. Talk to you soon. Bye.